Hello, everybody, and we're live back on the internet for potential. Well, not the last time because we'll be back next week, I guess, but our last official session of Fates United. Hello, everyone. My name is Michael, also known as Bardicdice. If you're not aware of who I am, well, too late because this is our finale. So, but no, we stream DnD on this channel, at least for now, and we'll see what happens in the future. But we've been playing Fates United, a homebrew 5e game here on Fridays and previously Thursdays for a while now. So tonight is our finale, our last session. It's been 2.5 years. It's been a fun time. You know, we never know how to do intros anymore, so it's just going to be fun stuff. But if you haven't caught onto our series and you want to go back and watch, we do have everything uploaded on YouTube as well. Well, thanks, Amara. You know, I'm already trying to keep it in, girl, and you like. All right, the nostalgia, I appreciate it. I really thank you. That's super sweet. You can catch our old VODs on YouTube with that kind of stuff. And not sure what's going to happen forward. And so, anyone watching now, I apologize for all the alerts. So you guys are amazing and awesome. But gonna say more. So yeah, today's our last session. However, next week we are going to have a post-game Q&A wrap-up, which you can actually go submit questions now already. As you can see over there, we do have a Discord that we share with Marquee Gaming and a whole bunch of other amazing streamers and people, like everyone in our chat, and Amara and Rafazil, everyone who's been subbing and throwing all their just support in here to just the journey we've been through. So we have a Discord if you want to go catch that out with a whole bunch of amazing people, artists, D&D nerds, movie people that we all hang out with when we're offline, as well as other streamers that post when they go live. But tonight you can go into our channel, Fates United, where I'm sure a lot of people are going to be posting a whole bunch of GIFs and fun stuff, and probably screenshots of me crying, because it's going to happen at some point. I already know. Okay, so we'll figure it out. But there's also a thread, so make sure to follow the thread in the channel before it gets buried too much. I'll post it again throughout the week. So you can submit your questions for any of our players or me for any of the decisions they've made for their characters, why they built their mechanics the way they did, why they made the choices they did, why they broke up or dated the people they did, all the juicy questions. Or if questions for me as the DM as part of world building or kind of the changes in the story happen along the way. So it's going to be a whole bunch of fun. That'll be next week, August 4th, I think we said it was, at 8:30 Central, so next Friday. That being said, I also play in a couple other games. You can find me on Sunday in the magical game of Mystical Mishaps. Yeah, I always say it right. Which you'll hear a little shortly later from Mark and Rachel, as well as Tuesdays on Winds of Calamity, literary_DM's Zelda-inspired game over on YouTube. Tuesdays at 7 Central. So that's primarily where you'll see me going forward. So I'm going to take a break from streaming for a bit. So that's another announcement I wanted to say. Just thank you guys so much for this journey. It's been 2.5, 3 years now of streaming, and you guys have kind of been with me for my journey. So I'll most likely turn off the affiliate because as much as I love everyone's support, I really don't want to continue asking for subs and all this kind of stuff when I'm not even streaming anything. So who knows, when I come back, maybe we can bring it back up and going. Or I might just do some random streams with some other stuff. So I do have some ideas in the pipeline. But with my new job, I'm not quite sure exactly. So I will keep you apprised in the Discord on Twitter. Make sure to go follow that at Bardicdice on all the socials. But yeah. Oh, last thing. Just if you do want to commemorate anything, we have our amazing artists who have helped us make some really cool merch between Deely, Amara, and Rachel. To be honest, I don't remember who actually has stuff that's up on that the merch anymore at this point, because a lot of stuff has come up and down. But if you ever do want to get anything there that supports the stream, goes right back into it, you can check that out as well. That being said, because I'm thrown off, I don't think I forgot anything. But thank you, Amara. I appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and introduce our amazing players who have created both this world, countries in it, the storyline, and the players that you see here. So, starting with one half of our amazing official artist. You can see a lot of her art down below in Kahu, and Mekai. Adelia.
There's a button. Hi, I'm Daily, aka Raphaziel. Hang out in the tavern, do art. It's fun. Yeah, this is crazy. But yeah, I play Meikai, and I love her, and she's fun, and she has a mean backhand, so I'll miss doing that, all that monk stuff. But apparently, as soon as I'm done playing a class long enough, I just forget how to play it. So, I'm sure that'll just be erased from the board. I was asking a whole bunch of warlock questions earlier, and I played a warlock for like 3 years, so
On this channel.
I'm really good at retaining things. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, come and hang out. Watch mishaps, watch wins, watch all our other cool friend stuff. And yeah, it's been super crazy being here now, but it'll be fun. I'm super excited. So
Perfect. And heading over to our second official artist, you can see all of her amazing art next to all of the players there, as well as some of the other stuff down below. Reiji.
It's like Anais gave me an intro. Lightning just flashed across the window. Hi, I'm Rachel, also known as Pip. You can find all my art on Instagram and Twitter under Pip400art. I also stream art over on Marquee Gaming on Mondays at 3:30 CST. So come hang out with me. It'll be fun. We always have a good time. I'll stream commissions or NPC art or just self-indulgent stuff. So either way, it's a good time. In this game, I play level 20 Anais, a Tempest cleric. I just went full cleric for the rest of the game, and those sweet level 8 and 9 spells are just so beautiful. And I'm just excited to wrap this up. I can't believe it's time to be done.
It's been cursed. It's been up and down, but we made it to the finish line. We did it.
We did it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And heading on down below to our second row, the one and the only. He has always been with us with the wise one. John. I don't know why I blinked out for a second. I was like,
Hello?
D-Lee's John, I guess now.
I'm known by the DM more often than not as Dealey's husband, so that's probably why he was confused.
Yep.
Name I have gone by since birth, usually John. I play Kahurangi, and I am a Kalishtar fighter with a 2-level knowledge cleric dip. It's been a lot of fun. It's been fun playing a fighter. And I look forward to see how the rest of the evening goes and see how we all feel that our characters' stories wrap up. But it's been an exciting game. Had a blast. And I guess just to make sure I plug stuff, check out the tavern, check out the art. There's been some great art recently that's had some great effects in the art. Definitely take a look at it. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on.
Last but not least, the aforementioned author and DM of the magical game Mystical Mishaps, my former DM, my current DM, Mark.
Let's say former DM. What do you?
Well, you were my former DM and my current DM, future DM. Good one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you now on public news. Yeah, I'm quitting. I'm sorry. It's
okay.
You can't get mad.
We just can't do this anymore. I'm sorry.
Yes, hello everybody. I'm Mark, the other half of Marky Gaming with Rachel. And as was mentioned, we do have a game on Sundays at 7 p.m. CST called Mystical Mishaps. And that's kind of horror themed creepiness. This Sunday will be session 20, so we're definitely getting going, which will be fun. I'm excited. But yeah, that's what we do there. And then here I am Zachary, an ASMR sorcerer bard. And yeah, that's the story. I'm sticking to it.
I've been a warlock this whole time.
Oh my gosh, I kind of wish.
Right? Just a little bit. Like it all just comes into play. Just how did we not see it all along?
I've been my own warlock patron this whole time.
You guys are wondering how I got so few spell slots?
Track.
Well, thank you guys so much. You guys have been absolutely amazing players throughout the session, but I'm excited to wrap up your stories and the wonderful characters, the world that you have built. So thank you again, and I'm sure I'll be saying all this later, but I probably won't be able to get half of it out. So I just want to say thank you up front to all the players, all the people that have supported me, followed us, followed the channel, built it to what it is now. And all of you in chat, you've been here from the beginning, helping form NPCs, form the story as it's gone. The story has changed completely with all of your inputs as well. So don't think that you're not a participant in the story that we tell here. That being said, for one last go, let's start tonight's session of Fates United. Deity runs away.
They climb, champions of the sky, sun, moon, ocean, ally. Seek the path where darkness hides, corrupting all the good inside. They will travel the hard way, igniting light through the untamed. Wilderness won't disguise the elements sent to destroy the fragile weave of destiny. Just one of the many evils sent to break the world. Protect them as legend unfolds. Pull on threads of fate, strings of time, metal clash as they climb. Champions of the sky, sun, moon, ocean, ally. Seek the path where darkness hides. Bring light to where evil abides. Come on, roll the dice. 'Cause heroes take the fight.
Welcome back, everybody, to Fates United, where even more details and twists get to be found out by both our players while we watch the intro. However, let's jump into tonight's game, the last session, the finale and epilogue episode. Welcome to the world of Organia, a land created by a deity known as the Ancient One, creating life through 8 beings made from his image: light, darkness, earth, stars, sun, sky, moon, and water. These beings are called affinities. And they make the world, they made the world that we're in alongside the Ancient One and created the races that fulfill it. Magical ley lines that spread throughout the land were made and fused with the magics of the affinities, creating bastions of cities, forming with magic and technology. However, another force during creation, corruption, entered this realm and forced the Ancient One to give up his presence in the world, creating a sort of arcane gate in hoping to keep corruption at bay. Yet, through the cracks of power, greed, and desire, corruption bore its evil nails into men and women, fell to its prey. Roaring in forms of war and beasts that invaded the land, the affinities then, following in the Ancient One's footsteps, decided to follow the ritual to keep corruption at bay. These affinities, now ripped from the mortal realm, decided to give it their last beads of power. They chose those of humble heart, purest of mind and spirit, chosen ones among their people to protect and continue to keep corruption at bay within Organia against this threat. It has been quite some time since our 4 chosens have stepped forward, each one with their own path and journey to discover who they are, what they can accomplish, and who they can help in this world. Last session, our chosens found new purpose, found a new chosen, but also being able to, for the first time in generations since the first generation of chosens, were able to unite all 8 of them again, deciding to give powers and chosen affinity beads, stones, to those that mean a lot to them and have helped form their story. Meikai meeting Par, who at first were a bit snarky and enemies, though falling shortly after they found a romance, was revived and has been a rock alongside of him, becoming the Earth Chosen. Amaria, being the first elf that Anais, after her family had died, had shown to her the ability of what others saw as a barbarous race in this world, being thrown into the deserts out of civilization at their own hand, had proven to her a way that you could rise above that, be do good in the world, just like her father had before. Kahu, after much humility and strength, showing to his family, coming from the bottom of his family to the top, as being asked to step in as the new chief, was able to repair and mend a lot of those broken relationships, asking his brother, Hamale, to take over the darkness affinity that Sundavir previously had, both uniting to be shield brothers for each other. And last, Zachary, deciding to swap Chosens with Lady Laeta, the first Inquisitor and person that helped teach him and pull him under his wing safety in Organia when he was first taken away from his family. Being able to first fight corruption herself, and now wielding it alongside of him, are all 8 Chosens were able to fight and defeat Varys. And in that form, the fullness of corruption became to being. In a final fight, Makai, alongside all the other Chosens, were able to destroy and banish corruption from Organia once and for all. You guys settle into the cavern where we're at. The rift going quiet as this portal that was open to this alien world slowly begins to close. As you can see in this split between planes, this arcane almost grid began to repair itself and lock in place. Obvious signs of what the Ancient One had created to keep both the affinities himself and corruption away from the creations of more mortals in this world. The quiet hits, all of you kind of recovering from your fights, as you hear snoring right next to you, as you look over. But quickly the snoring stops. And as you see the crumpled body of Trevar, Car's brother, who is supposed to have died in a mining accident when they were little, had been somehow revived, seemingly by Varys, controlled by corruption and some sort of necromancy. You see that his body had been twisted and pushed past undeath in this druidic necromancy. But now that corruption is gone from this world, you see what was the eyes that glowed bright with corruption and these veins fade, and his body even, in this laborious breathing that is slowly starting to fade. His body even begins to start turning gray into ash. Ar just kind of drops his weapon and runs over to him. Ar, are you okay? Is he alright? What's going on?
Makai will walk over to him. I think the corruption magic that was sustaining him is gone.
Right. Is gonna die?
Let me try. And I'll come up to him. And let me get my sheet out. If I have a spell slot. Yeah, I do. Greater restoration on the boy.
The boy.
The boy. You go ahead
It's like
and
30, but it's
reach in your bag, kind of one of the many, many diamonds you guys have at this point. I'm sure you guys have the resources. You reach in and shatter it. A bright light kind of shining. Give me an infinity check.
With the level 20 stats.
Go ahead.
31.
even better.
Oh, wait, no. No, 29. Sorry, I did my math wrong.
The crystal begins to rise and hover and land on these, almost like a magnet to these veins, as they suck up any last remnants of this ashy green material, absorbing into the crystalline dust. And though still looking opaque and white, what was Travar becomes Travar again. You can tell this body is not much longer for this world, but the corruption has now left him. Har's eyes brim wet with tears as he kind of just gives you a silent, just nod of gratitude, Zachary. And he leans down. He goes, "It's all right, brother. Rest. Rest now." Travar's eyes close for kind of a last time, but you do see a smile come to his face, as it does seem that he goes, his soul leaving his body at peace now. Thank you, Zachary. You gotta see still holding his hand, but
Mikai hugs him, kind of there with him.
you guys are able to attend to Travar. Some of the others. Everyone give me perception checks. Let's look around. Or if there's anything else you wish to do here in this moment.
I got a 26.
15.
17.
11.
All right. 26. Anais, of course, your eyes, as you kind of stay a little quiet, are kind of the first to pick up in the corner. Up in the corner in the area, there's kind of been an area where it definitely seemed that Varys and others had met, maybe their plans. But you also see another body crumpled and lying there in the corner. Scarius is lying there, seemingly killed by Varys himself.
Yeah, so I think like as she's kind of like before she like is looking around, she just kind of like, just like breathing like it's over, and yeah, and then her eyes kind of travel around the room, and then when she sees Ascarius, she kind of, I think Kahu's probably kind of near her since the other two are like around the brother, so I just kind of poke Kahu, and I poke it, I like point to Ascarius. Looks like he didn't make it.
Zach,
Yes.
anything any of you can do about that? I also point in the direction of where Anais was pointing me towards.
What do you want me to do about that?
We
Sure.
bring him back, or do we just bury him?
Well, that's a question, I guess, because
Yeah.
wasn't he bad?
And just as a reminder, it was skipped over a little bit, like it was a small scene because we didn't we were rushing in time. But you did see a scene at about the same time that the shockwave happened in these movies, where Iscaria seemed to have stabbed Lady Lexus. Wow, it's been a night. And ripped some sort of necklace off of her. That was kind of something you saw happening previously. Not sure what happened.
Do we know what that was? The necklace?
You mean Arcana check? You're proficient. You're kind of thinking back. Kind of go over and take a look at this area, maybe trying to find it again.
15.
You've seen Zachary and yourself having to use different components and spells, and kind of taking a look around. You don't see its hands around his neck, but you do find that there is a string of a necklace kind of by his feet, and a smaller diamond is floating and spinning in place nearby this entrance and portal way. And as you can tell, this diamond that's spinning is almost shimmering this like lock this portal here. You get the idea it has some piece of a ritual here, either to open or access this area, this portal, but its complete function might be a little beyond something you're aware of at this moment for the 15.
Can I take a look at it?
Yeah. You want to give it a attempt? Kind of go up with her as she's telling you this stuff.
Yeah, as I'm looking at it and he's rolling, does it remind us of how we went into the prison? Was that the same type of thing, or was there a different way to get in the prison?
That's different. And you
Okay, that was a long time ago, so okay.
When you think about that, if anyone does check the remains where Varys' body was, you do find a key that looks odd in its form. It kind of looks like obsidian, but it shimmers in like a metal that doesn't quite seem like it feels like anything from this world, or at least known. Would you roll?
29.
29. As you're taking a look at this one, and you look down, it's a small diamond with a crack in it. And based on kind of the things the Ancient One told you and what you've done here, you believe this might have been the original diamond he used in this first creation, and it now seems to be the source of maintaining this grid-worked matrix. That the more all of you start studying, you start realizing crystals of different colors seem to all weave and form together underneath where this portal is. And this seems to be a convergence of all the different ley lines here. So just based upon all of that, you get the idea that this probably was the actual source and beginning of where the Ancient One created that matrix that he then shunted himself, and shunted the Ancient, or the Affinities also shunted themselves outside of. That now, apparently, with the defeat of corruption, you've cut off whatever entity it was to the source, anything that was beyond. You're able to grab it and kind of hold it in the air. It seemed that it was in the hands of Lady Alexis, and then also taken by Iscarius, taken by Varys, to use to try and gain access to that energy and use it in the rift.
This feels to be a convergence of ley lines here.
Definitely.
I'll share that with the group. There. I don't sense corruption there anymore. It seems to be where everything comes together.
Who's the one? Who actually grabbed the die? Does anyone? Or let me ask you that. You saw it spinning kind of in the air right above where the convergence is. Does anyone grab it, or were you just examining it?
I'm examining it at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think I grabbed it.
It does have a slight bit of a bubble or shimmer around it that is reminiscent of that shimmer around where you were with the ancient one.
Does it look like it's dangerous to touch?
With your 29 and your connections to the chosen magic, no. This feels from the source of the ancient one, from the source of the affinities. This does not feel dangerous to you whatsoever.
I'll say it seems like a convergence, and then I will touch it.
By the way, as you guys were all studying this, one of the conversations that most of your passive perceptions you can hear is kind of Amaria kind of shuffles over to Leetta. She goes, "Look, I got a last shot in, right? Like, I just want that to go down to be known, right? I was just still getting used to these powers a little bit." Sorry. And she kind of like, is watching Meikai and Car and just kind of going over and checking on the others. She's nods to Kamale as well. And how you say you go to grab it?
Mm-hmm.
Car finally kind of stood up. You see him, his eyes still wet, and he looks over to you, Meikai. But as this happens, the 8 of you, what shimmering and what moments feel passing in the wind that kind of is a little stale in this cave does seem to go quiet as that ball of energy expands a bit, form around you and fill most of this cave. And in this almost step into this bubble, you are now face to face with a younger Lady Lexus and Riviere, the water genasi, and I had it on my page. Why me? I don't know. I had Groot stuck in my head from earlier. Sorry.
It's here. Hey.
And Garrick Stone, the Earth Genasi, who are standing there.
Mm-hmm.
As you walk into this, and what appears underneath this diamond is this pedestal with 8 slots around it for stones. Well, good job, Chosens. Apparently, you've done what no one else has been able to do before you. I wish we could have been there
sometime.
And Riviere's like, I wish we could have been there to see it. We had our own things to do. You can see him look past the bubble over to Ascarius' body and a little bit of sadness, but it returns to you all. The younger lady, you see her in the corner and you see her closing the book that had been written in previously. And in a weird way, you're both in this cave, but you can see on the back spread that hill at the Centaurium with the school as well. And also, as almost your where your mind wants to look, you can see the different areas of the world again. Oh, Chosens. You've accomplished what you've wanted to do. There's only a few things left. Your choice to do with these powers. If you wish, you all 8 can return them to the ley lines as they were originally. wish to spread the remaining magics among the people and the ley lines, or if you wish to continue to hold them, continue to guide and protect for yourselves. We're in uncharted waters, you can see. The Ancient One is no longer here to make those decisions. It is up to the collective 8 of you. Oh yeah, we'll watch over this stuff now. Is kind of what we're here to do, right? She kind of looks at me. Right. We are the last remnants of the Ancient One in this world. But we must step beyond now as well. Now that corruption is gone.
I will nod and he'll walk towards where the water stone would go. And he'll draw his blade and stick it in the ground. Just hoping I never have to be a blade again. He places the stone in the thing.
Emily doesn't hesitate and kind of walks up and does the same.
If we give back the powers, does that mean we don't have the abilities anymore?
There's only one way for it to find out.
No, I mean like actual like healing, other things.
Yeah, that's an important question.
Yeah, like we have plans after this, so.
Though the chosen powers in its concentration will leave you, certain special abilities or your weapons won't be as powerful. However, the echo of what they have accomplished within you resides. The magics that you have learned, the muscle memory your body has gained, will remain in its own form. Leave your healing, your inspiration. It looks to the other two, your martial skills are things your body will remember. Just as once the magic is returned, you'll be able to teach others, like the affinities had taught way back when. But it is your choice. You feel like you need it longer to accomplish anything more in Organia.
Zach will look at an eyes.
So, we can do our magic, even the big ones.
It will take a little bit of time for your bodies to readjust, but I'm sure in due time, the big ones you'll be able to accomplish.
Do you know how much time?
Depends on you.
100 years.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah,
What's a range?
Yeah, a range would be great.
Why don't you find out?
Because we have plans. So there's
Yeah.
time-sensitive issues that we have to make sure. So,
This is
like, we might have to
like
wait.
a joking matter, so.
No, I'm not joking. Remove chosen from you and find out what powers you have left. You can grab them back if you wish.
Or just like temporarily release them?
Until all 8 return the stones, no magic will be returned. Stones will be available for you to re-accept till all 8 are surrendered. But I cannot fathom or understand some of these things to give you a number. So don't think I am joking in this matter, for I know things you wish to accomplish are very important.
Nice. Here's the notes. I have my notes. Maybe you can do it if I can't, and I'll go put my stone back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she looks kind of hesitant because there's not like a guarantee of anything. And you're
Did anything
saying
happen when I put my stone, though?
When you put your stone down, you do feel that disconnect to the affinities. So there's still a little bit of an echo, and your full connection to the staff does wane a little bit. So some of those special abilities you would lack, or you feel like that extra oomph, a dice roll you might lack. But when you go to check and store the taps of your spells, whatever your character sheet has is.
I think I'm good.
yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So her
real quick, though. I'm going to reach my hand back down and touch the stone. Hi, Astari. I don't think I ever talked to you. I'm Zach. Nice to meet you. Okay, bye.
You just hear a thank you. I'll always be shining bright. Be my guide.
Yeah, so kind of like seeing things look like they're okay, she relaxes and she'll just like put her hand on the stone before as she's like putting it down and just be like, Lotha, still be with me, please, because I would miss you if you left. And then she puts the stone on the
You go to like let go of the stone for a second, but your fingers seize around it, almost like electricity that binds your muscles. You just hear power, almost like you don't want to let go. And then as you let go, you feel the zap in your cat's eye. Power.
just like, okay, sorry, we're good.
I mean,
Or do you want to put the
I
stone
kind of
back?
got used to this personally, so I think I only get 1 day. Just kidding. Ready?
Okay.
You already see it zapping from me. He's like, this is fun, but I'm ready to rest. Got rebuilding to do.
Mikai thanks to Lune, and she's like, thank you for everything, even though I was really bad at coming in contact with you.
That harmony begins to play, a melodic tune, almost these twinkle of 2 notes that play in between each beat. You know exactly what that means now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just a whisper as you. I will always shine down, watch over you, all of you. You always said the right thing. Let your heart sing when you wish it. Leetta and Amaria is kind of standing off to the side, and Amaria's just like, I mean, Zach, like, it'd be really, really useful if we were on a rebuild Inquisitors or like Delvers.
And you know, it'd be even more useful.
Getting more people? Alright. You see her like grabbing those powers and giving it up. Leetta already kind of walking over wanting to do the same. As I believe that's now all 8. Summon forth and you can see the 8 shine bright with their colors. Crack and hum as each one slowly begins to reunite within this diamond that's spinning in the middle. All of them forming into one bright white light. Still the crack there, but it doesn't seem to be affected. As in that moment, 3 more people step forward, kind of stepping into this bubble, kind of looking around for a second, but you see the Dean, Jorna, and Sundavir stepping forward. Sundavir starts clapping a bit. He goes, well, well done, my friends. Glad you all were
I'll
able
walk
to do
over
what
and
we
clap
did.
him on the back.
Oh, I'm getting old in my age, all right? Come on now.
You look pretty spry for your age, though.
I think it's time we give that up too. And they walk over and Garrett kind of nods, and I've added the parts that you wished to be a part of as well. And Sundavir will place his hand kind of, as you can see, just the remnants of kind of this echo of magic coming. I think I'm ready to age like everybody else. See the Dean and Jorna standing there. Yes, I'd like to rebuild. I must go with you if you want. Have me?
Yeah, if you want to. Be glad to have you.
But I think we're going to have to do something first. That's all right with you.
What?
Are you sure this is going to be all right, Garrick? You have a wish. Good. And she looks over to the Dean. I wish to live the life with you that I never had. And you begin to see the bubble spin a bit as time seems to kind of reverse in this kind of echo as everything's going on. And hand in hand, they walk out of this bubble, and you can see them walk back into their lives, and then see them build a house on a coastline over Hanasuka, have kids that run around, and kind of the days and nights spinning as almost in a moment's time they step back in, and they are old, aged, and look weathered. Yeah. We wanted a little vacation before we were able to say goodbye to this world as well. We'll spend our last few months and years helping you all rebuild. You can kind of see this old age that Sundavir doesn't have. He seems to be more looking to age properly from here on out. But the stolen time of them having a life to live with all this. And Garrick looks to you all, and there's much still to be done. If any of you do wish to go back, live a life without the Chosens, you may. That was the choice they made. But this will be your last
would change.
chance.
That would change everything, though, right?
Some things will change.
Well, I'm good.
Well, then, all of you, I say thank you. And know that we will be watching. Just like all the affinities. You can see now the white light forming down in this energy of beaming energy and kind of little beads of almost seem like an arcane version of like almost nutrients or sap starting to flow and beat into the land as all of this energy is now being given back. We will protect. Hopefully, this will be forgotten. You all can heal and rebuild Organia for the beauty it should have. You kind of see the bubbles spin and stop, and there in that moment, you see that cavern there, waiting for you. You wish to step out.
I think I could do for some making instead of destroying. Sundavir?
Yes, my friend.
Shall we go on a new adventure?
I have a lot to make up for.
Brother?
You guys seem really good at shaving. Can one of you help me with this? This is getting a little
Makai's great at it, but
rugged. Good.
you're ready to rebuild the world.
Lead the way.
Everyone else, take any help you're able to give when you can give it.
Well,
Kala
yeah,
begin-
we have like 2 kingdoms.
Kala begins to head out.
Sorry, just to be clear, the cavern thing is just to leave, or it's not the. I'm a little. It seems like there's a few choices being made, so I don't want to actually accidentally walk through the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't want to be chosen. I want to forget all of that.
Is this
Yeah.
was this the restart button or is this? Oh, that's the exit. Okay, thanks. Yeah, no, that's the hallway to corruption. If you want to let it back in.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like multiple doorways, glowing green.
You said 4A, not 4B.
Yeah, no, this just seems to be kind of the opening to just allow you to kind of enter back into the present.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, Anais is already like, she's like, I'm ready to
Yeah,
fix things.
Zach
Yeah.
is heading out.
Thank you guys. Okay, it's really fun. See you guys hopefully again.
I'll turn back
Thank
around.
you.
Pads.
Thank you as well. Before he fully steps out.
It's like gives a little wave.
See the younger one holding the book, just kind of waving to you guys. Everyone departs back to the present without any changes to their lives or choosing to live a life lost. Shorna and the Dean do follow back, but they are much older and in their later years, willing to help you and give advice and counsel. But we'll wrap it there. You guys return. You all begin to start hearing reports for your different contacts, Ergon and Alana, our soldiers, and Arlas. You hear Dwarston and Trigo and the all the leaders in between, your giant Spain, everyone that has been communicating together, that at the destruction of the rift at the Hall of the Ancient, that around the same time all these other cracks and rifts begin to slowly fade, and most of the corruption beasts were killed, and if any are left, are being hunted with great urgency and aid. Oh. We'll go ahead and jump more starting into our ending and epilogue as Scene fades. Unless there's anything anyone wants to do
Do you have
before we do
something
this. Yep. This is-
before?
So yeah,
That key?
between now and going forward. Yep. Mhm.
I want to be sure to grab that key that Varys had. Wherever that is, I'm grabbing that.
Yep, for sure. You have access to that. You want to do anything with it?
If I can use it, I would like to use it.
Yeah, easily with the aid and of those in Organia, as they quickly kind of wash out those that were loyal to him, and those that weren't. You're able to kind of go through his studies with the aid of Leetta and the remaining Inquisitors, as they are trying to make sure that there are no artifacts or remnants of Varys's items or places where corruption might still be echoed. With that, you're able to find his prisons. These planes that seem to have been ripped from whatever homeland he was and kind of used as these demi-planes to hold people. You release, if you wish, Alana's mother.
Mm-hmm.
You also...
Anybody else that really needs to be released, but...
Yeah. There might have been a few just political people that was not important to the story at the time.
The whitest guy is in there.
Whitest guys in
Cough,
there.
cough.
Yeah. Yep.
He can just stay in there.
They were definitely... He's definitely transferred to an actual jail and have to make sure the powers, any powers that he does have, are not used. Give me an investigation check, though, as you're going through some of his things. You do find gold and paperwork of names that don't sound familiar to you.
I got a 30.
This gold coin does seem to appear a few times in a couple bags of a king's face. No one that you recognize, and you start doing some research, and it doesn't pop up anywhere in Organia's history. But just the word Taldore appears on the coin. Not quite sure where that comes from. But it seems to be attached to some source or land there Varys might have been or been from.
Okay.
Rachel with the pitch meeting. Hey, that's the thing from the thing!
I know that.
Wow!
Yeah, I know that. The only Critical Role reference I would probably know.
Right. Is there anything
Yeah,
else as you guys
make sure
leave?
that-
Yep. Hmm?
Make sure Alana's mom gets back to her.
Yep.
And if she is crazy, I can try to do like a greater restoration on her to try to free her mind or whatever.
Yeah, with a simple remove curse or greater restoration, you find that her memory had been morphed as well to be a witness against her father, that her husband, Alana's father, to twist the story so that Varys is kind of written out of this, and that, originally it was the Chosens that had gone against him, and then her story had changed, that he had, corrupted her and things like that, and she had originally lashed out at Alana. That's why she was in the prison for the first place, but it's clear that this was all kind of manipulated by Varys. Alana's extremely appreciative. He at first is one of the ones that goes to hunt down the remaining beasts and stuff, but she kind of gives you open door and open leverage as one of not only a chosen but a trusted counselor now to Organia. Widespread ability to study, disclose, file away a lot of these things and security there.
With helping her out, I'm going to leverage that the best I can to get diamonds.
Diamonds are easily accessible from anyone, as now it seems that the memory of the Chosen's past and even your names are being remembered as these powers are being released back into the earth. It's like those forgotten names are slowly now being remembered, and history books are being rewritten. And in thanks to the efforts you guys did, resources are freely available at this point for anything that you wish, within reason.
Perfect.
A kingdom.
Okay, done. I call Teggerland.
I don't need to go first, but I feel like there would be one thing within like the week of us winning.
That's kind of
so
just
I don't know if you want me to do
I'm just kind of going around like free action. Like as you guys are finishing, is there anything particular you guys want to do? Anyone you want to talk to? Things you want to make sure that are set and accomplished just in that first kind of time frame as this is all ended and happening.
I just think that after things kind of get settled and Anais can see that things really are like settled, it looks like it's good, and that we kind of have what we need to get things done. Probably after like a little bit of talking with people just to make sure this was something that might be a good idea. She would go wherever she is, like by herself, because she doesn't want anyone to be around, because she's nervous. But like for people to listen to her, but she would finally use her wish spell, and so she's just kind of like probably standing outside, and so she just kind of, I don't know where we are. I guess wherever we would be the first week. I would assume maybe Celestia, just because it seems like everyone was over there, so you know, maybe that's where everyone is.
Between your contacts and your own powers, getting around or teleporting is not
that's true. I guess I could just basically go anywhere.
Right. Pick me up, you know, like
yeah. I don't think it matters too much where it is. So I would just assume she's in Celestia at the moment.
Okay.
But she just would make sure she's kind of by herself. And she's actually, I do like Celestia because she's kind of like looking out at, like, you know, you can see a lot of the land like from Celestia. So she just kind of whispers into the wind. I wish for the ley lines everywhere to be strengthened so that the land can be rebuilt stronger than ever before. And then she just like sits and like, did it work? You know, like just waits.
I'm gonna wait. Give me affinity check. Without proficiency now. Now that I think about it.
Oh, without proficiency?
Yep.
Okay. 11.
Cat's eye. Whether it's static electricity or a bit of a zap, kind of goes almost as a, you know, when you release a spell, something resolved. It worked. I feel like it might have. Kind of looking around for any sign of anything. Just off in the distance. A bit of a rumble of thunder. It kind of just gives you just that.
Yeah.
And you can look down and you can actually see, as I would assume, maybe you're sitting in kind of like that area where he had built a temple or something similar, or one of these places where that's been sanctuaried. You do see kind of a bit of deadened earth and a bit of a flower that grew by where you're sitting.
She just like looks at it and like smiles.
And within the next coming weeks, is nothing really happens in that moment. But in the next coming weeks, months, you do start hearing reports of the land just starting to reform itself in inexplainable ways. Except for where Zachary is, the flames burst up everywhere and the earth begins to crack and the sky turns dark. So
Can you imagine? You just twisted it.
The
like, you
whole
twisted
world's
it
fine,
under
but
the
Zachary's the
bridge.
big bad now. The end has come. Perfect. Mekai, what are you and Car doing within the kind of first week, or just kind of the first initial things?
I think going to, since we're closest to Hanasuka, go check on Hanasuka and my parents there, kind of get statistics and figure out what remnants of the tieflings are left. It was already tiny and now it's smaller. So, and then I think taking Jorna and the Dean, which I realized I never call him by his name, so Mekai just calls him Dean, introduces him as Dean, and that's what he's known as.
It's Edward. I can be the Dean if you need me to.
Dean Edward. But she gets those two to kind of help her parents as well. And I think they'd probably stay there for like a week or so helping, and then probably go back to Gravnica, or even just a couple days and then go back and check out how Gravnica's doing.
Perfect. Yeah, both Hanasuka, just with the foils that it's hit, being ripped into a domain of dread and then now returned, suffered a lot, and Gravnica itself was hit hard in the shockwave by Varus, but they both now united and strengthened by everyone supporting and all the networks that the Nightingales are able to provide, and Gravnica and the resources that everyone puts together, reaching out both a sign of Chosens and just two nations of primordial and humans working together. It serves as hope, as kind of this unification of the entire world kind of behind it. Very much so, like, you know, when a big tragedy happens here, right? Like, kind of the world kind of comes to have their back. And you both actually start noticing a lot of these places where the earth was crumbled or deadened, new life springing up. New villages and cities are able to kind of start and begin to rebuild around those oases of life. Reports of magic now being a little easier to connect to, especially in those oases as well.
Good. And also help Alana too if she needs anything. I mean, New Organia was kind of flattened.
Yeah, Alana's definitely very busy in doing that, but she seemed to have taken out a lot of rage and energy in really pushing the press to make sure any corruption monsters were killed and gone. Anything, Kaho, that you wish to accomplish in the first kind of actual first week? And then after this, we'll kind of go around and we can do any epilogue stuff prior to a year out, and then afterwards we'll do the year out and then post stuff. So
first week, probably he's going to connect with Alana and with his people, and he's going to start making diplomacy and support efforts and sending him out throughout the world to find the locations that have been hit the hardest, and to start working on brokering deals with places that weren't hit as hard, and try to get things moving to where there's support lines beginning to help with everything.
Perfect. Yeah, 100%. Easily with kind of the now newly formed leadership and allies and everyone, again, just like before, working together. Just like Ravnica and Hanasuka, Organia and Kusaaga also take the lead but not just within those lands, as it does seem that Hanazuka and Gravnica have to, just for the sake of destruction, focus so much within their own lands first before going out. Usaga doesn't hit too hard, so a lot of your efforts are able to go with Ergon, and Carlos and Tritania also aids Fusuaga specifically to go and, among the rest, hit those places hit hard. As the Elvish Plains were hit hard, Trigo, Gravnica, and also New Organia itself hit really hard. Some of those lands up north, too, where the school would be, and some of the smaller cities really take your focus as kind of this unification spreads, and there's celebration and hope for the first time really in a long time that hits, as out of this destruction, new life, new beginnings begin to be formed. And there's no storm monster. There's no war over whether Chosens are corrupted anymore. There's healing now between the humans and primordials, as that's almost like forgotten these days. And all of the leadership seems to come together in a way of support for each other, as very, very quickly these lines of support, you guys are able to travel around together to make that happen. Perfect. Are there any other scenes anyone wishes to have, any conversations with NPCs before you start kind of going around and what you guys do in epilogues, and what you want to talk about your characters and what happens post game? Kind of move into that a little bit. Is there anything else you wish to do before we move on? Like I said, this is last session. Forever hold your peace if you don't get to do anything. Well, you guys reunite, and even those little moments you can in downtime, in all this rebuilding as well, with those that you have, I'll call loved ones and things. But we're gonna do epilogue rolls. So everyone roll a d20, please.
Okay. Oh yeah, I am unmuted. Okay.
11.
11. Actually, I should probably write this down. I'm too tired to remember anything.
That is so Makai.
I got
Yep.
12.
1.
I got a 1.
Wow.
I rolled
Well,
16.
Hey, it's always-
Perfect.
I've been thinking about this the entire week. I was
This
like, I'm
will-
gonna roll 1.
This will lead up right into the 1 year mark anyway, so that kind of works out. Makai will be last.
Yes.
So what are the rolls again? The other three? I got 11 for Rachel.
16.
15.
12.
Wow. Perfect. So, Ahu. You'll go first. What Ahu do and accomplish in this year after? Is there any scene? Have any moments, or scene is yours to write his story for the next year?
I think over the course of the next year, Kahu is working very heavily on kind of building up the industry of his people so that they can better support the people throughout the realm who've been hit harder. And over the course of the year, he works a lot with the human realms as well. Him and Alana come to an agreement that a political marriage would make sense to try to bind and to tie things together a little bit stronger. And so, to try to show even more solidarity between the realms, Kyle and Alana end up getting engaged during that year as they continue to try to rebuild Organia, and also as they can help out Gravnica and all the other places that were hit really hard, and try to make places of refuge for people to return to. And at the same time, he's working with Sundavir specifically, and Anir is sort of a researcher basis to begin creating a school at Fusuaga. One that he hopes to be a place where people can go to learn of histories and of the things that have happened, and one of the first things that he has made and published there, and that is spoken of, is how the Kalashtar came to have Fusawaga, and of the dwarves, and of memories and reminders of the dwarves, and of what they brought to the world, to make sure that that knowledge that they brought wasn't lost, and that it wasn't just caught up as a secret with his people anymore, but it's now a thing for people to know of. And I think that is probably most of his year.
Yeah, I really love that. One of the big things that Sundavir Near kind of pilot, as Alana's big push in, of course, this time, is making sure that corruption in any of its form is completely cleared out. As there's no new corruption, you guys have made clear, and even moments where you try and reach out and find it, you do know that this connection to the chosen ability is a little bit weakened. So Sundavir, having had that taste of corruption as well, and Near a little bit as well, begins to focus on certain spells of divination to locate echoes of corruption in this world, specifically beasts or animals, and kind of start pushing that forward. So within that aid, a lot of the rest of the underground corruption beasts or temples or areas that have kind of been slowly kind of being corrupted away had been found and now cleansed with the aid of that. And the school is now can take kind of what used to be in Venali and Organia has now shared with it as well, but now has become a new source of primordial research and discussion. Quick question, Zach, do you feel Celestia and yourself would be involved with that at all, or at least aid in kind of sending like resources of like research to them? Maybe not like firsthand necessarily, but if it's a school of research.
I think he would encourage it. I don't know if he'd be super involved, but
Yeah.
he'd probably be.
But just like being able to leave an open channel with Celestia with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So between Celestia, Venali, Organia, here you have access and networks and nodes to all of the main information within this world to create a new place for history. Really good. Alana seems to enjoy the political marriage, just kind of pushing you just as much as you push her. And you kind of are able to kind of pull her back a little bit from the blade and the axe as well. She seems to be picking up her axe less and less with her time with you. Perfect. Anything else within the year?
Just a reminder, it's only an engagement during this period of time in the year.
Perfect. What I meant to say,
Yeah.
sorry.
You're good.
Perfect. Zachary, and that flows it all into Anais, if you guys wish to pair that off at all. Or Zachary, first yours.
Yeah, I think a lot of it we discussed would probably be working together. So I think we'll kind of go simultaneously.
exactly.
If that's cool.
Totally.
So yeah, first thing I think.
Because only rolled one difference anyway. Like.
Yeah, it was perfect. It's timed great.
Since Zach got the diamonds he needed, he would probably go to Anais and tell her that he's ready to go try and resurrect her family whenever she's ready. Sooner probably be better, just so it doesn't get too far out, but try to keep it under a year.
Yeah, and like I think she would be pretty down to do it as soon as possible. She would be very cautious about who she told in the process of it. Specifically, she's not telling Bri or Connor because she can't bear to think if it doesn't work, to like see their disappointment. So she tells very few people what their plans are. She really wants to keep it under wraps. However, I think she would, if they can spare the time, if they're busy, it's okay. But I think she would want Kahu and Meikai there as well to like help, especially with their former like abilities and ties to being chosens and like just all of them together. She just feels like she wants them there for it. If someone can distract Brian Connor out of Solstium while we dig up the bodies, that would be great. Like someone else, not Kahu and Meikai, but someone else.
If allowed, Iris, Katrina, and Meikai's mom wants to have a reunion trip. If Zachary and your family do allow it, probably with some oversight with your family.
Leanna would definitely probably be with Zach as well, so that I can distract as well.
Perfect.
Yes. So Meikai's mom, Leetta, kids, our distraction team.
The rest of Zach's family too. Yeah.
Yes.
Celestial vacation. I was
Get
going
out
to.
of here.
All right. We were going to actually go check the geodes in Trigo, but yeah, I think we can make that work. As they're.
The best part is like Zach's family is like a swarm, so like as soon as they're caught up in it, there's no getting out. Like they're just gone.
There's a little bit of like Connor looking at you like you're up to something, but all right.
Yeah. Her face tells everything, so she just like avoids looking at him until he leaves.
She just goes, all right. And just before he leaves, let us, whatever you guys are doing, just let us know how it goes, all right? I'm gonna run off. Yeah, I got it. Like running after Katrina with a soccer ball.
Yeah.
So
Zach would help dig up the bodies.
If Ka's there helping too, he can actually turn into a huge person now, and he could probably just cover up, undig most of it with one scoop, and then we could
Don't
go
damage
small
it,
and
Connor. Don't damage. Don't damage the
I'm
bodies, please.
I'm just taking off the top few layers. We'll finish up the end.
Yes.
Detail.
How many fingers did your dad have? Oh. Sorry.
Oh. Well, don't worry. The thickness spell will fix that if we just put the finger next to it.
So details aside, you guys are able to easily unbury them respectfully and easily archaeologically raise them back and find a ritual. Are you doing this in Solstium, like near that tree? Are you doing it back at Pyrrhus's ritual site? I mean,
I don't think so. I mean, as far as she knows, the spirits of her family are here in her necklace. And I think she wouldn't really want to move them or do. I think this seems like a good place. Especially if Distraction Team has them in everyone else in Celestia.
You kind of put them in a circle, and Solstium has grown beautiful again. Just the tree that once was deadened and kind of just the burnt has now renewed with beautiful colors, and the sun coming down, and you can see why this was chosen in its first place, which you did not see before. Now are beautiful colors of blue and cat's eye veins underneath the ground that flow and pulsate at night in various ways. Seems like the ley line runs right through here, and that's kind of where the cat's eye was found in its own place, as well as other places. But you know, and can feel the magics here and given back to the earth, and you set up the ritual with the diamond. You begin to access magic, not as chosens, as family, friends, pulling back for that. We'll do a minimalized resurrection. Cool. For this one, Anais, what do you offer? What do you do? What do you say? This moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably really hard to like look at her. I don't think she hasn't even seen her family's bodies or anything. So it's probably very difficult for her to like see them like that. But she just kind of like walks around like each one and just kind of gently touches like the hair. And she just says, I love you all so much. You were taken away so quickly, and I would really, really want all of us to be together again. We worked really hard to make it so that there would be a way. I'd like to not be alone again. We even rebuilt the house. Please come back. I miss every one of you. That's all she says. Kind of like touching her cat's eye the whole time.
You can pick the stat. Persuasion, performance, perception, whatever you feel is the most apt in this moment. Or if you just want it to be charisma, I'll give you proficiency from her heart.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do.
Oh, that one got me.
I'll do insight. As I think, yes, she is speaking from her heart, but I think this is one of those things where, like, even with Brian, with Connor, she was like a little uncertain of like maybe they want to rest, but like I think she knows they would want to come back. Like she knows it, and she knows them.
Yeah.
And she's very certain of this. So.
All right, roll me that stat and DM me.
Okay.
You begin to say that, and what Anais doesn't see, but the others see, is swirls of wind slowly start centering around you as almost these remnants of Lotha's power within you begins to unite in this moment, and the different affinities that were in this land that are present rise up and get activated or rise up in the air as almost clouds begin to surround this ritual. Go ahead and roll me a d20 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Would that be Zacky Boy since he's doing the resurrecting?
Sure. One of you will go to roll.
Okay, so d20 is spellcast modifier. Okay.
And then DM me.
Sure. Just the modifier too. No proficiency or anything, just modifier.
Isn't the modifier with proficiency?
No, modifier is just my charisma. If I want proficiency, it would be boosted from there, but
Yeah.
with proficiency?
Yep.
Okay.
Zachary begins to complete this as the light of each diamond glows bright. All 5 of them glowing. And then, Anais, the wind begins to pick up. You're closing your eyes, telling this message to them as your words kind of echo out and are heard almost as thunder hitting as in this moment with this prayer, purple lightning and flashes of blue erupt from your cat's eye around you as this storm begins to break out. And just this desire, almost like your art piece that you really made with the storm around you, as the lightning then strikes into all 5 bodies. 5, right? I mean, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And with a crack of thunder that clears everything, you look down and they all begin to take a breath in as their bodies heal and look back to life. Heartbeats almost in your ear, you can feel with like slights of thunder. And Lotha just proud. As everything dies back down. One by one they awaken. Your mother and your children run up. Brothers and sisters. Hugs. Mother giving you bright, proud eyes as your mother and father grab you. And it's a beautiful moment as the sky clears and a rainbow appears above Solstirum. This moment as the storm kind of dissipates, looks over as your family is resurrected and with you. Solstirum now filled with the full family of Anais again.
You guys, obviously there's like tears and sobbing and like so much, but I think all of you would probably see this like smile and this like expression from Anais that you've probably like never seen before. Like a part of her has been like restored to her that has been missing like this whole time.
Who's standing in the background, laughing like Gandalf as the hobbits run.
Yes.
For a second, I thought you said Ganondorf, and I was like, oh no. Yeah.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Yeah, Zach just smiling, watching it.
Mm-hmm. Make too.
Plenty of time and joys and tears of happiness and sorrow as you can see Bride and Callum reuniting for the first time again, brothers in arms, as they retell everything that Anais has done and how proud they are, and even Callum taking you aside and showing his pride and that you were able to go beyond what he could with just his words, taking what your mother and your father taught you and join them together, still find a balance. All of you guys are able to spend time with them, Zachary's family and Anais' family, all the siblings getting along and becoming friends. There's a game of light tag that a few of Anais' siblings are mad at first and they don't know how to do, but very quickly, within a couple days, you notice that your sister starts to learn how to cast light and is able to do light tag right back to them. So even your brothers and sisters begin to slowly actually start showing their own signs of magic, as between Celestia and Solstirum, these ley lines are quite powerful.
Yeah, she definitely take the time to like teach them anything she knew and like little things.
Anything else you guys do during this year?
So from there, I think Zach would be doing a good amount of time connecting with Kellum and Bry and Leetta and Amaria, and working with them kind of on this whole Delvers group and trying to establish that, help Anais' family get reestablished, and jumping kind of back and forth between Celestia and here via the help of Anais, being able to teleport us back and forth between Celestia and here.
Yeah, I feel like we were saying like we'd rely pretty heavily on Kellum's like diplomatic skills, because it's like I know Anais thought the whole campaign like he would be so good at like uniting people. He would be so good at this, and so to finally be able to like get his advice on things and like ask him to help, unite people and start kind of that again. You know, I feel like they'd almost like want to learn everything he has, like training under him in a way.
Question then for you. For the Delvers of Antiquity, with your help, the Inquisitors laid down that organization. The Inquisitors will retire that as those either choose to leave and just focus on the recovery of their hometowns or different places, or become more of like guards and militia within those towns, or a lot of those that are friends and followers will lay down their Inquisitor cloaks to join the Delvers, even in lesser ways to help. A question for you, Anais, with Kellum. Where is it chosen to give the elves a new city? Is it in Ogum, Elvish Plains? Is it Otare? Is it Solastirium? Where do the elves choose home to reunite at?
I would probably reflect the question back to Kellum because he understands like the history of everything a lot more than what she did. Would he have like a couple options that he would feel like is the best? Like the wisest?
I think he would pull you into his study now that's reopened again. You see him kind of returning from a trip, having reached out and taking the time, as you guys were doing other things, to make those contacts with the leaders of the different towns again and kind of pick up where you left off, reuniting them. And they're all kind of waiting as everyone looks to both him and you as leaders, even if you're not in official capacity, but just guides of what to do next. And you do see circled Ogham as one choice, as it seems healing has come back there, and it's a now source of water and great resources. Kind of points, and you can see notes of like renewal and change and history and a new start. But you can see the cons of a remembered past and things. There is a mark of the desert and starting there, taking over where the dwarves were and getting a home there in the eastern side of it where the water is, of course, which is west of New Otare, so be close to there. And then just one last one that says home, where my family's at. No Solastirium. But when you try and reflect it back, he laughs and you down with him. He goes, yes. You mistrust how wise you've become. This is your choice. You, brothers and sisters, are the future of the elves. There is no wrong answer.
Wasn't Solastirium supposed to be a new start anyway?
This? If we wish to everyone come here, we will need some expansion. It would be a beautiful mountain range. Ley lines are here already. Already natural protection. Those that wish to stay in the plains have a close connection to it.
Sorry, I think people are shooting off fireworks. I got like, what is that? Okay, anyway.
It's the elves.
It's the elves.
No.
They're rowdy.
The siblings. The siblings just doing firebolt now.
Yeah, so those ASMRs that came up, they have actually shown your brother how to do dancing lights and how to explode them. So it's quite a new trick. Great.
That does not surprise me. Okay.
Call them fireworks.
I think here might be a continuation of what you started originally anyway.
Perfect. And the word goes out. Solastirium. Home. Gives you a big hug. All the siblings start running in and kind of tag you with little fireworks. Says, "All right, out of the office, everyone outside." And he pushes everyone outside for you guys to go have fun, and he'll join you for a bit as well before you guys head off. And with some expansion, you have some druidic help and some aid, of course, with everyone else, Fuswaga and Organia. They kind of help build up the mountainside as a new homeland. It kind of spills down near Giant Spain. You guys form a really good relationship with them. Then at the bottom of the hillside, kind of in scattered places that end with Ogham. Ogham will be your most southern city, as that and Solisterum become the two bastions of the elves going forward. And it does take a while for things to get going in the first year, but after the first year, there's kind of an excitement and a new understanding of the elves in a lot of many other places in this new region. We'll call them the Elvish Foothills now instead of the Elvish Plain.
Cool.
Perfect. Anything else you guys do during this year?
So I think Zach would spend probably a lot of the time going back and forth, establishing stuff, helping rebuild, helping establish Solisterum, and like about a month or so in, I think he would go to Anais and ask her out.
Wow!
Crazy.
Crazy.
It's like now that they're not stressed anymore, they can start thinking about this stuff. For the first time, Anais does not seem super surprised that someone likes her. Because now she's kind of paying attention. Things are kind of happy now.
Yeah, so he'd ask her out. Does she say yes?
No, just kidding.
Okay.
I was leaving that as a surprise for you, Mark.
And
No,
that
she-
is
yeah,
where
she-
the big bad develops.
Yeah, like when he asks her out, she just like stares at him and then she like motions for him to like come like bend down.
Okay.
And she just like kisses him on the cheek. Yep, let's do it.
And then from there, I think it would be kind of primarily over the next year doing traveling to different cities with the Delvers group and trying to connect people, rebuild, and if there's any forms of corruption or evil magic or artifacts or stuff that's still around, he'd help with that. And exploring like unknown and forgotten places. And then when he goes to different towns, he'd probably want to help connect people to powers of their own as well, to wherever he can. And that would be primarily probably that next year for Zach.
I like it a lot. Yeah, between all the aid that the leaders are giving and as well as the Inquisitors, kind of their knowledge based with this, there's definitely plenty of catacombs and temples that need to be fleshed out, and Alana kind of travels with you for the majority and helps with the Delvers for the majority of the first part of the year before kind of settling back, and once that's established, kind of lets you all continue that and more on the political side of things as well. Ahu. Nice. Anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, I think they both probably are doing much of the same thing and like traveling around. Anytime anyone might need them, like from like Meikai or Kahu, I feel like they'd go and help out. I mean, I think that's the perk of being pretty mobile, is they're pretty fluid with like where they're going all the time. So they're all over the place.
Lots of traveling.
There's one night in particular that Bry and Callum's powers combined end up creating a bit of a floating kind of area that you all can stand upon, and your whole family goes up with Bry and Connor and Callum. You all can look out as the Aurora Borealis again kind of hits in blues and yellows, greens. You all look out over the night sky and you can see the lights of all the elves underneath. Fry just takes you under his arms. Always been so proud of you. You've accomplished a goal that your father and I have wished for a decade. Done good.
Thanks. Thanks for being here.
Okay. Is there anything you wish to do, or what happens in the first year for
Yeah.
Meikai for leading up to
So-
eventually this year mark?
Yep. So, right before the big battle, Meikai and Kar figured out Meikai's pregnant. So, there was that. Shocking. And so they kind of probably go back and forth for a little bit of like, you know, you should stay home. I'm not staying home. You should stay home. I'm not going to do that. So they go between, like I said, help rebuild Gravnica and Hanazuka. And also keep an eye on the Nightingales. Now that things are even more devastated, I think Meikai's more like probably asks Sojourner and Edward to particularly keep an eye on that, since they kind of have that like background sense.
Yeah, it seems quite quickly that
And-
Jordan's able to keep the Nightingale very much within a leash of kind of, they're much wiser to know kind of the ways to hide things in Hanazuka, and anytime that she tries to maybe step outside of a line for a second, she doesn't. So, yeah, they do a good job in making sure that the Nightingales keep to their name, and they do become a more established guild of resource, and even a bit of prestige within Hanazuka as well, and outward as they start connecting with other resources and towns, and at Kar's behest, and kind of a little bit of convincing and not Anais, but Alana, the Nightingales become a guild within.
Mm-hmm. And make sure that they're, again, keeping an eye, making sure that they have people that they can trust to, you know. We don't want it to become anything shady.
She huffs a couple times at you, and she goes, "Just your hormones, but fine, it's fine. We'll do things the right way, I guess. Whatever." But
Yeah.
the Nightingales easily bends down to what Meikai, which you wish direction.
Yeah. So she'll still stay in power. I think the first like 6-7 months, pushing it a little bit, but she'll try to keep going back and forth. But I think eventually she'll be convinced the last 2 months of her pregnancy to just like chill. So they just kind of stay in Gravnica and plan the wedding, which probably won't happen for another little while to kind of like rest and recover as well. Yeah, I think she would just keep doing passive work at that time, you know, signing papers and eating cookies, official business. And then has her twins.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
didn't say how many.
double.
Yeah, double the
Double
trouble.
trouble. We did roll for that. 2 little princes, they're fraternal twins, and they are a handful, but they're super cute.
Hence why
they
we
take after
had
both of the twins.
why Meikai could all of a sudden cast with your item, what was it? Death's Ward every day?
Yeah.
'Cause we had to mechanically find a way. I was like, I'm not dealing with having to keep kids safe, so yeah.
Well, if I did go down, we weren't going to have the twins thing happen, but I didn't go down, so we're good. So there's kind of like a caveat in there. But yeah, this has been like a long time coming, so super happy to have that out now.
It'd be a fun one to talk about in question and answers too. About how that
Yeah.
changed from the
So-
original story too.
Mhm. And the twins are born around like this time, like this year, so late summer. And so they probably wait until like next spring the following spring to have their wedding, make sure that things are okay, you know, and then make sure that it's a huge affair. Huge. Because they want to like invite everyone and have like a big political gathering as well. Because it kind of makes sense for that, for the countries and stuff. So, yeah. I think that's kind of what they spend their time doing.
Anything else specific you wish to do with Make High or any other scenes, or happy with that year? Because the wedding is now upcoming soon, and the 2 boys are born, and kind of preparations beginning to had. Is there anything else Make High wishes to do?
What are their names?
Oh, yeah. Katsuro and Akio. And they do have specific meanings. I'd have to look them up again. But it means like one's like triumph and one's like joy or something like that. So
Nice.
coming in with those Japanese names. So yeah. And they have little purple horns like their mom. Because her purple horns stayed.
Don't worry, everyone. I'm sure Dee will flood the Fates United channel with art that she's done.
I have a lot of artwork over this last bit.
I think it's been like a year's worth of art. That's well,
Yep.
Perfect. Well, all of you begin to put forward your plans and machinations over the first year, and healing peace boy turns to Organia as final remnants of corrupted beasts, bulls are being fleshed out. There's new history being found, new artifacts being discovered, and a new layer of history for the past 1,000 years that really hasn't had a chance to be written down again. I'm now having a chance to explore, as there's what Varys had controlled in the history books is now kind of being uncovered and unwritten and rewritten again. But there's a sense of excitement building after this year, as the 1-year anniversary of all this begins to come up, of this wedding that now started as a formality and a party, but has grown into a celebration. This is a signal to all those of Organia of healing and moving beyond this divide that has occurred between primordials. It's a sign of healing from Varys's shockwave that day. But it's also a celebration of, for the first year, about the Chosens. In this moment of joy and pride, of gratitude for the Chosens, but also excitement of a combined effort now with everybody involved. So this wedding begins looming forward as all of you travel there, in ways, all the other leaders and people that you've met along the way. Carlos will go with his wife. You see Arston, who is quite a bit taller now at this point, arrives. Sadly, oops. Oh no, everything disappeared on me. Hold please. Okay. Uh-oh, everyone's still frozen. Let me try and go back and fix this real quick.
Oh.
There we go. Okay, everyone's not frozen anymore. I was trying to move my notes page real quick. But anyways, sadly, Edward has passed away near the end of the year, and Jorna still goes, but aging a lot quicker than you think she would. She seems to be close to maybe the end of her days, but is still there to give wisdom and celebration and counsel to you. Bricarius, of course, is there. Bri and Connor arriving with all of you guys, and Kellum, and everyone's dressed to the nines with the little ones, and even Sir Garen Aemon, the Orc of the Solar Styrian, arrives as well. There's been some recovery up there of people that have passed away there. as well as just a lot of different people from around the area. You can see Sir Carr's uncle, Marston, Anir comes as well. Just a returning of everyone's different representatives. Sundavir is there. We'll go ahead and kind of set the scene a little bit. Do you want any reunion of this to be before or after the wedding? What's the scene for you guys?
Before anything, I've been wanting to use, I just haven't had a chance. I like before the wedding starts. I don't even know if it's outside or inside, but like I want to cast control weather to make it like the perfect sunny day, like perfect.
Yay!
We'll set the stage as before the wedding. You guys have been entered and you find your seats, but Nice, you wanted to go up and make high before the wedding, and you and Zachary kind of find your way, kind of going up the stairs as you're pointed to where Mekai is getting ready. And you can hear Mekai's mother like, "It's just the cloudy days. I mean, you have to have a friend that's able to poof the clouds away or something, huh? We're going to delay. My daughter gets to have the perfect one." And you just kind of like step forward as you cast and clear the sunny day forward.
I don't even say anything. I'm just silently like doing the spell as the clouds are like going away.
And she just taps on Mekai's forehead. "Are you still a chosen? I did not know you could do spell casting." "I'm sorry, your makeup looks beautiful, huh? All right, I'm going to go make sure everyone is still prepared. That piano player was a little off." And she just kind of storms off. "You look beautiful, darling." As
Thanks.
Mekai, you're standing there kind of on the balcony. Not because I think, where do we talk about this? It's not up in Gravnica, but at the foothills.
Yeah, it's not in Gravnica proper. It's like on like another like mountain like home kind of like city or something.
And I think you said further away from Gravnica, closer, like in between Hanasuka and Gravnica, right?
Yeah, so because Gravnica was kind of over here, and then you had like the central with like the river that ran through, so it's a little bit more towards the center.
Perfect.
So you can see like the mountains, and there's like the river and the lakes, and yeah.
You guys go up and Mekai is waiting there in a beautiful wedding dress, and Anais and Zachary, you guys walk up, and it's about that time, Kahu, that you had kind of seen, you noticed them walking past, and you're able to pause from whoever you're talking to, and Amelie just kind of nudges you to go speak with them. So all four of you do begin to converge a bit at the same time, walking up.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Is the bride-to-be feeling ready?
I mean, technically I've been married for like a year and a half, so this is just,
It's true. Probably explains why you asked me to do the officiating, huh?
Are you stressed?
Well, I mean, you're official. There's a lot of people. It's also making connections and talking a little bit of politics too. So it's fine. I mean, it's not going to be all of that.
It's the less fun part of it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But people tend to talk a little bit better when it's a little festivities going on, I'm just going to say.
Well, you look really pretty.
Thank you.
You look fantastic.
Mekai, Kahu, give me a perception check. We're seeing shadows of beats fly through the air, attacking you all. Roll for initiative! I'm just kidding. I told you to get roll 20 out.
16?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get a 16. Sorry. I'm parroting what John said. Oh, no, that is a 16, though.
Both 16s?
Yeah. I was like, wait, what's 7 plus 9? I don't know.
Yeah, both of you guys are kind of just standing there at these moments and kind of like all kind of gathered together again, just for you all, as both of you at kind of the same times, your eyes go to their hands of both Anais and Zachary, and
They see two like really simple gold bands on their ring finger. It's like very casually. They're just standing there like they didn't even, you know.
Oh, it looks closer. He's got to bend over because he's really far away from them.
It's like, wait.
Except those jeweler's glasses, like, who made these? They're not my accord.
Wait. This.
You look like a pair.
Oh yeah.
They've been dating Kahu.
Wait, where was I? Oh, yeah, I was in the middle of trying to solve crises across the national. Congratulations!
Congratulations! When did you get married?
Yes, we didn't hear anything of this.
Oh.
Yeah, we just wanted to keep it pretty small.
Like just his family in mind, but that's so many people already.
Yeah.
Well, it's
That's a
because his
lot.
family's like the size of like half the nations out there still.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so
Congrats!
thanks.
Congratulations.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago, so plus we didn't want to show you guys up, you know, like your big party, so
Well, we can celebrate. I can put your names on the cake too.
no.
No.
Oh.
We're good.
Double wedding.
Just put it on a different computer.
I was
Okay.
going to say, I know for a fact that her mother's got an extra bride and groom thing for the cake because she's like, oh, just in case the other one goes bad, I've got the backups.
Yeah.
Hey, Noko, you didn't tell me there are going to be double wedding. The tabloids are going to go crazy, huh? These are the best thing for Hanasukas.
I'm assuming, though, this means keep it hush-hush for everybody else.
Yeah, I mean
What
it's
do you
not like
want
a
us-
secret, but you
Not
don't
a
have to like
secret.
announce it either, you know.
Okay.
Like
Don't
you guys don't need
drink
to like
too
make a
much.
big announcement.
Okay.
today.
Congratulations. I'm very happy for you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Wow.
You're getting
Well,
married
look at all
soon
of this.
too, Kahu?
Yeah, I think it's a few months out still.
That's gonna be another whole shindig.
You excited?
Yeah, it's going to be
Or
another political one, you know.
is-
It'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah?
I'm
Alana,
excited for you and Alana.
we just trying to figure out how much time we're spending in each location, you know?
That is a very hard thing to do.
It is. Probably more time at her place at the moment, honestly, because it still needs more restoration.
That's true.
Yeah. There's a
Are
lot
you
that needs to
having
be
a
done.
giant party too?
It won't be as big as this one, but it'll needly be large because politics. I'd rather it be smaller, to be honest, but
I mean, you can have a
Deal with the
smaller
hand you're given.
ceremony.
You could have like a
And then a
secret
big party.
wedding. Yeah.
true. But so many
Just be
people feel
low-key.
shunned, and then you have to deal with
It
that.
wouldn't
and
be
it becomes a
Fates
whole
for
issue.
without this stupid fast song to play during an emotional moment. I can never find which one it is to remove from my playlist. Sorry, guys.
Well, here,
Yes.
take a drink, take a water, and cheers.
Oh yes, we can cheer each other.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Clink. Mark actually has a prop.
I'm actually really sad I don't have any water.
Yeah, wait,
right
can
now.
we actually clink for real?
I'll do
Yeah.
my better looking glass. There
Yeah.
you
Clink.
There we go.
Really cute.
Oh, that was so good. Well,
Happy for
Yeah.
you guys.
yeah. Look at all of this.
Thanks.
Beautiful
Just,
day.
It comes together quick. And
Yeah.
today is happy and it's nice.
We're just changing, but the better this time.
Still slow, but in good ways, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I
Hmm.
made the weather okay for you, by the way.
Oh,
That's
thank
why
you.
it
My
broke a
mother.
little bit nicer.
Yeah. My mother
like
was
a
like,
lot
"Oh,
of
it's
people-
a miracle."
A lot of people putting like umbrellas away and like attendants like taking them jackets off to the side. And
go. Yeah. Did you need to do a temple, or you good? You got all this done.
Oh yeah, we're good. But that
Okay.
would have been. I mean, yeah, no, I think we're good. we're getting married on a she kind of points out there's like carved like what do you call it? I don't call it a balcony because it's like bigger than that, but it's not like the top of the mountain either. I keep imagining Pride Rock. It's not Pride Rock.
Pride Rock.
They just pulled up both their well, that
It's official. It's canon now.
This is canon. I mean, Car probably did that when they were born. But,
Everywhere the light touches. Sorry, I can't go too much further than that.
It's like a
Right.
big. It's like I guess it is akin to like a balcony, and it like because this house, this like big like mansion-y kind of thing is kind of like set into the mountain, and it probably is like dedicated to the affinities anyways in some kind of way, and so it kind of like overlooks. But maybe we can do that. Maybe Kahu. Maybe you'll want that. I don't know. And there's the gifts with the throwing the babies. Thank you, guys.
Oh, I can't wait to go back.
Oh my god.
These are my favorite.
It's a Gravenica pastime. You don't throw the bouquet, you throw the baby, and whoever catches it first.
The twins are like 8 months old at this point. Well, thank you all for coming. Enjoy yourselves to whatever can, extent that is.
Don't trust me, I'll eat plenty of food.
I mean, we kind of doubled the food budget because of that, because of all the Galish that are coming, so.
Probably a good
And
move.
also all the extensive families.
You guys
Yeah, can I
can.
have
Both
a
of
gut
your
going
siblings
with
look so
how much
cute.
you're gonna eat. So.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna say the numbers
No.
until the end.
You
We
can
should
see
take that
the
as well.
echoing of Ergon, who's like already at one of the rows of tables for food. What do you mean it's not good to eat now? We gotta eat after. It's gonna get cold. And he's just kind of echoing up from down there.
And Kahu, thank you for officiating for this too. Last time it was just Lune giving us her blessing, so
Just Lune.
which is great. Yeah. Just Lune. Just the affinity,
Well, at the very least, I get to wear a fancy hat. He pulls a fancy hat from under his arm.
It's perfect. I guess Car and I kind of got secret married too, so I understand. Wanting that intimacy.
Apparently, I'm the only one not to get secret married. I must be out of the loop.
You need.
I'm
there's
telling you,
still
maybe
time,
you and
Kahu.
yeah, Alana, go get Zachary to make that temple and just
Just get over with real quick. Then it's done.
You can customize it too, however you want. Don't need to decorate
there
it.
you go.
Mhm.
We'll see.
You know how to talk to us if you want to do it.
Just oh yeah,
Will
the
do.
mind thing is
Yeah, I don't think we have the mind thing anymore.
Oh, who does?
no.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
God just says in each person's mind, I still do.
Yeah.
From across the continent.
Yeah.
That
His range got really good.
to get don't.
secret Mary.
Yeah. He says from the top of the mountain.
Called a telephone. Here's a sending stone. Don't worry about it.
He does have that, so
It's about that point when your mother comes back out to be like, come on, now we're going to be late. Oh, hello, Auntie Chosens, you're so pretty and nice with your hair. And it's like, hey, come on, when are you going to put the ring on it? Alright, anyways, come now, we got to go and let's get this wedding on,
Guy doesn't say anything.
You look so beautiful. But you guys have a wonderfully beautiful wedding that you are enjoy. Car's bawling the second he sees Meikai start coming down the aisle. Kahu, was there anything you wish to say as officiator, or is
We are gathered here together today.
Marriage. True love.
Marriage.
Kyle will
However,
give an inspiring speech, and in so doing, gives the front people and
yes.
the
I
two
just typed that
lovers
in the chat.
temporary
I'm so happy.
HP.
And hit points, yeah.
That's perfect. And at the
Stronger.
end, beautiful wedding. Everyone is throws rice up in the air. It's a beautiful ceremony. And at the reception, you guys all gather together as one person does. Many people kind of go up for their own toast because you don't think the DM's going to be left out of a toast and get one upped by his players or anything. As I have my own toast, as Bricarius stands up, kind of tapping the glass, and he stands as quiet as he raises his glass and goes, "To any of you guys that might not know me, my name is Bry. I was friends of the bride and the groom, and most of these chosens here as well. I am now the new dean at the Solisterium School, opening up. And I wanted to say thank you for all of you. Mekai, you and Kar have shown all of us the ability to rise above the past that you've come to. Show healing and bright future. I want to thank both of you for teaching me that. As the darkness in my life followed me in a storm, I look to you both as shining examples of hope and happiness. And if you don't mind an old man in his moment, I want to thank a few others as we all come to celebrate the Chosens here, everything that they've done, but the four that I now get to call friends. We've all worked together to allow this wedding, this celebration to occur. May I raise my glass to your beauty. Anais, the family that I have met, even though you are not blood, we have traveled far and experienced much. You mean more to me, as a daughter could. Pahu, you have been a source of wisdom and joy, and I forever will know that your strength and solitude, even in your vulnerability, shines through as an example for those who see you. And Zachary, your stout forwardness, intelligence, and empathy shines through in your own light. You have called me forth from my own darkness, given me hope. It kind of raises it again to everyone. From someone who shouldn't even be here, brought back to witness this beautiful wedding. I thank all four of you, everyone here, allowing this wonderful journey, celebration to be had, as the story's not over. But together we get to celebrate many more days going forward. Oh, right, yeah, to make high car, right, yes. Everyone's kind of like, Connor's like, wrap it up. As he cheers to the four, and I cheer to my friends who have told the story alongside. The wedding is beautiful, and we'll go into the after epilogue then. You guys want to do same orders, or actually we'll do reverse order? How's that? You guys like switch it around a little bit. Mekai, you and Kar have a beautiful wedding. Spend some time, a little honeymoon with the two little ones. What happens for them going forward? Or is there any more that you wish to tell or write for their story?
They have 10 kids. I'm just kidding. No. They do
The
have
Sims
one more
edition.
Yeah. They do have one more daughter about 5 years later. Her name's Sumiri, because I figure somebody would ask. But yeah, otherwise than that, I think they spend a lot of their time going between Hanazuka and Gravnica, still establishing things. I think eventually Meikai wants to get Hanazuka to a point that it's a little bit more self-sustaining, so she can step down from the crown and not wear two at once and just have Gravnica to kind of focus on. But she kind of establishes it more like a council, and so she can still be like considered probably like the figurehead, the end all say, but she really tries. Yeah, crown for each horn. There you go.
Are you Queen Elizabeth in this matter? Is that what you become, where you just like give it over to a
It's
prime
a little.
minister and a
It's.
council?
I was thinking a little bit like that, and so she tries to wean them off until she's not needed anymore.
Nice.
And they give their kids the choices. You know, they raise them in both cultures, kind of thing. They give their sons and daughters, you know, the choice of like what they want to do. I think at least one of them becomes involved in, you know, restoration and stuff, politics, like politically wise. But yeah, I think they just really focus on building up those two to kind of help more, especially because Hanazuka was such a trade hub in the beginning. So they kind of help spread the wealth too. So not only the magic is kind of like spread out, but like it's not just, you know, a couple kingdoms controlling all the finances either. I think they really try to, you know, help everybody and get farms back and, you know, people's livelihoods and really push for that trade and less military stuff. So
yeah. Lovely. Nice. Happens with Anais going forward after this year, if there's anything you wish to write in her story.
Do we want to go together again, Mark?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think, yeah, they travel a lot. Kind of what we said in the first portion is, I feel like, almost like the framework and foundation of how they live the rest of their lives. Definitely big focuses on Celestia and Solstirum. We even said like they might even each have like, or they have like a place, like a house in each one, especially because they can like teleport pretty easy. So that was a thing. We rolled for it. They have 5 kids over the course of the years. So not as big as Zach's family. Still pretty big. And what else? Did we say anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what they would do, is a lot of the same, raise the kids to kind of do the same type of thing too, and be people who bring hope and life and connections to people.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I think especially with them being such high-level casters, just being willing to teach people that have the talent, you know, I think that would be a big thing for them.
Yeah. Within this, I mean, as the governments began to equalize and kind of find their own going forward, and it's mostly smooth sailing. Obviously, there's always going to be somebody that's, you know, finds a little selfish or greedish motivations, but everyone is still united mostly, and they're quickly, you know, kind of kept in check. The Delvers now established quite well through a lot of their jobs, and a lot of ways of mentors and abilities, and even some of the younger brothers and sisters in both of your families now start growing up and becoming of age to continue to teach those as well. As the Delvers and Inquisitors have gone from more hunting the corruption down to now spreading the magic, healing side of things going forward. Anything else on that for you guys?
I think that's, yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right, Kahu. Or Kahu going forward?
Kahu initially continues his work he decides to fit in with the cool crowd and gets married secretly with the help of Zach and Anais.
Yes.
But then has a public wedding afterwards.
I mean, oh, Roger, we have to do this. It's for the people. I mean, come on. But thank you for
Does
that.
Zach construct a temple, or is it like it's ultra secret, like just those two?
We'll make
It's a
a
nice thing is
too.
it could be a
It is
temple that
pretty
lasts for
secret.
24 hours and it's gone and no one ever know what happened.
No
to it.
one ever knows.
Yeah, exactly. 24-hour temple. Yeah, and then Alana and Kahu, their appreciation for each other does eventually turn into actual deeper love. And they end up having 2 kids. The oldest is a girl named Hu'ulana, which is Hope. And their son is the younger of the 2, and they name him Diarmid, which is free man. Because Kahu's hope is that his family can choose to live the life they want and to be free. And he continues to work towards restoring and strengthening things until eventually Lana gets really sick. And when she gets sick, Kahu stops spending so much time doing the stuff he needs to do politically. And he passes the torch on to Maleko. And Maleko takes it up, Kahu goes, and he continues to do research and to dig into things. And he finds traces of corruption in the necklace that Alana was wearing. And he's able to get it away from her before it fully takes her, but it takes time for her to come back to fully recover. And with that, he begins to do more research.
I'll interject one little thing in there.
Yep.
The necklace was found by you as slowing that time frame. More dreams begin to come to you in your spirit walking, returning to you as you see the necklace that she wore was from her father, having been a false chosen. This necklace was given to him power, made by Varys, so it has echoes, a trace of corruption that were there in her, and that, like he said, would radiate a little bit. As it's not anything that's detectable in a magical sense, because corruption is not there, but it's a leftover echo and manifestation of it, as that is something that you find as well, and continue on with what you do with that.
But with that, he works very heavily with Sundavir and with Anir. The school continues to get built up and strengthened. And in that, he begins getting back into his blacksmithing and finishes the metal that he started making that combines all of the elements through the world and creates an element of unity. At the same time, he also writes a book of what happened called Fates and Freedom. And after a lot of time, he's probably around when he was just hitting 50s or so. His kids are getting older, and Alana's back to being healthy and okay. He sends out a call to his friends and lets them know that they think they found the last of remnants of corruption, and asks them to come and watch it. Come help finish this. He gives them a date, and we'll see who shows up.
I show up.
So wait, how far ahead? Okay, how far ahead is this?
He's like 50 or so now, so we're talking about like
20 plus.
25 years or so in the future.
Okay.
Yes, Zach would come.
You made the call, the other 4 chosens that were chosen would show. If you
Yeah.
called them, I don't know if you would.
I would. When they come, there's the necklace there. And there's a brazier. And then there's what looks like a doorway that's been built. Kaho's got his family there. He goes up and he hugs Alana. Gives her a kiss. And he lets everyone know. I've been blessed to live a life with everybody. I'm blessed to have the life I've had. Echoes of corruption seem to have their own strength. And I think it's time for us to get rid of this once and for all. Grateful for everyone showing up today. Goes up to his son and to his daughter and gives him a kiss. Puts his fist against his son's chest and says, "Live free. Be the man I know you can be." Then he looks to his friends and he says, "It's time for the blade to truly be put away." You see, what's happened is as I've been researching corruption, I'm only alive because of it. When I die, its last essence will be back in this world.
Because of Bardicdice.
Exactly. I was dead in my mother's womb. I was brought back.
Give me perception checks, everybody.
Ugh.
That's a nat
12.
20 for 27.
Whoa, old Zach
Ooh.
is perceptive.
Yeah.
It's all those kids.
26 or 20. What's 11 plus 16?
27.
27. Okay.
Okay.
12.
Oh.
Low roll.
Yeah, you're kind of looking and you're still slightly confused at his exact intention. And the one thing I was going to say is your son, when you kind of pound him in the chest, he puts his forehead against yours. Kind of that same greeting that you had with your father, Lego. The two, especially you, Zachary, and you snap forward, your eyes go to Kahu's eyes. Green with that bright Alharanji color. You realize that that ritual that brought him back from Bardicdice is indeed the color of the echo of corruption. Zachary, you
Why
would
can't we?
I was gonna say you would know with the research and the time with the Delvers and the time and research that any are soon to be in Kahu, that this isn't corruption. It can't be removed. A wound, it's a symptom. It's a leftover echo, and not anything that can be targeted by remove curse or like things. The items and the things like that have to be destroyed and purged.
If you die, though, can't I just bring you back? And it would be gone?
If I die, the corruption goes somewhere and we don't know where. But I know a place I can go where we can't get anywhere. Not in this
Where are
world.
you? Where are you going?
Corruption was brought here from another world. Apparently, it's one of the things that allowed me to spirit walk as I have. So I'm going to do one final spirit walk.
To
I don't know quite where. But it'll be away from this realm. The corruption can't take it. So, I wish to say goodbye to my friends.
Are you sure you want to do this now?
I took this necklace from my wife. And its echoes were draining her and weakening her. I felt it do the same to me so long as I'm here. The only time I feel my strength back is when I've spirit walked. I need to do it before I have no strength left.
So you're saying it's getting
You can't-
worse, like as you get older?
As I know as I need to do it before something happens and it starts all over again.
You can't
As far
just
as we
chuck
can
it
tell.
through the door.
Can't chuck my own eyes through the door. It's still there with me.
Oh no 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 no! Not the necklace. Oh.
We are one and the same. We are echoes of pain. It'll
Are you
be
sure you
okay.
don't want to see if, I mean, we have resources. Find some different ways. You don't have to leave.
See Sundavir, who's now aged quite a bit. We've called upon every resource we could.
It's going to be okay. The world is going to be okay. Which is what we fought for.
Tell you this wasn't my idea, but he's stubborn one.
Things come and go. Time passes. But we are souls. All of us. Doesn't matter how we were made. And we get to walk our own paths. Despite being born of corruption, I managed to walk a life in a path that was not succumbed to it. I'm proud of my life. I would like to be able to do this final act for this world.
I mean, I'm proud of your life too. I don't think any of us would be here if it weren't for you. Or at least the place we're in.
We're all where we're at because of each other. I will
You
take
sure
last
you want to do
words
this now? Makai will hug him.
Yeah. Me and my family have talked about it a lot. feel that
We'll
this is the
watch over
proper time.
them.
Thank you.
We'll give him a handshake.
I'll go over and light the brazier.
In the handshake, he's gonna cast remove curse anyways, just to see.
Just to make sure.
Give me a roll.
Just charisma or what?
Whatever we've rolled in the past for a remove curse, right? It's charisma plus your proficiency, right?
Plus proficiency. Okay. 25.
Gonna surge the power into him, and you momentarily feel your joints a little bit free up. Feel good for a second, but that pull slowly settles back in. Back, you could feel something trying to take, but there's just nothing to take. What was left over.
I pull in his handshake and give him a hug anyways.
Had to try.
I love it.
That's why I care about you, Zach. You always tried. Succeeded most of the time, too. Keep it up. Ananias. Great to see both you and Zach smiling. It's nice to see you with proper emotions.
She like, okay, I'm sure she can't even reach his shoulders at all. It's 'cause he's so big now. But like, she just kind of like takes like wherever she could reach the highest. And she just says, "Really, Kyle, I mean it. I wouldn't be who I am without you first showing me how to channel everything that was bad. Not bad, but my grief, I guess.
We all need the grief. I get it.
Now that you're gone, without you, I'm gonna destroy the whole world. I'm just kidding, I won't. But
Well, it's your choice to do, not corruptions.
But just know your impact. And it'll carry on. It already has, and it always will.
Thank you, Anais.
I just hug him really big.
Hug
End
him
of your
back.
cast levitate, so you can actually give him a proper hug.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nakai, you've done good work. You have a wonderful family. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all of you.
Proud of you too. You stopped talking in circles for a bit there, and then you went back into it. It's the old age. It's fine.
I wrote a book too. It got a little long, so I talked in circles. My editor had to cut it down a lot.
Yeah, I read that.
Oh, you saw it? You got the original
And-
copy? I'm sorry.
The first draft.
Yeah. Car couldn't understand it, so
I gave up
someone
after
had to.
2 pages, sorry. She gave me the TLDR though.
That's okay. We've made something great. And our families are going to make it greater.
If you can ever let us know you're okay wherever you go,
Yeah.
please do.
I figure it out, I will. Like, there's going to be a lot of figuring things out for me for a bit.
Don't appear in the bathroom with me again. That was weird.
What?
When did that happen? I don't remember that.
That
It
was
was
when
while I
we
was
were.
trying to figure things out.
That was like way back when we were at the dig site by the volcano.
It's a deep cut.
Yeah, that's good.
I think I've learned enough not to do that one.
Good.
Actually, it was a focus of my study for a while after that incident.
So he just shakes his head. And,
We love you, Kahu.
I
love
cast
you all.
Death Ward on him. Like buffing him with spells.
Yeah, guidance. Just
Guidance. We'll do 8 at like 9th level. To get like a ton of hit points.
I was gonna go and light the brazier. For the portal to open. He's gonna go and give a final goodbye to his family.
Amalek gives you a forehead to forehead. Say hello to them for me.
I will. And then I'm gonna go walk and I'm gonna step through the portal.
Before you can, you feel a hug around you as Malika runs up. Like a little brother again. Even though he's grown into a great warrior, or not a great warrior, but a great leader. Sorry, big bro.
Never apologize. Turns around and gives him a head-to-head forehead touch as well.
Out of you.
I love you all. I was given a blessing that was not supposed to be.
Our blessing was in you. Watch over them, don't worry.
Thank you, Maleko.
Step back.
Oh, kind of gives a nod to everybody. And he steps through the portal. And it collapses behind him.
For a second, as wherever his soul went, his body all lifeless. His soul moves on, and you see a ripple of water. A bright open landscape. White. Radiant with water around. 2 women standing there to greet him. Portal. Do you wish to describe the scene, or do you want to keep that to yourself, Kaho?
As often we've seen. Like the water, still as glass. Going up to the beach. This time as he walks up to it, instead of there being a wall that stops him, he's able to pass through and greet his mother and greet Maya. And they start to walk for a bit and converse and share memories. Then after a time they stop. And as they're trying to pull him towards wherever it is they've been, he has to break from them and go a separate way. Because he can't let the corruption exist even in the afterlife of this place. And he begins to walk to a mist where others do not go. Steps into an unknown realm. On an unknown journey.
Don't give me history checks, the three of you guys.
$26.
I got a 20 total.
I got a 25.
Time goes by. Months and years. Remember, you lay him to rest, and you don't quite hear anything direct from him. In the years and decades to come, there are strange occurrences and rumors of stories of those in need that, in a moment of desire or need, they find Alishtar in the mist, forges them something that they need. And eventually the title of the Soul Forger begins to slowly make its way around Organia. Quite sure if it's Kaho, but some of you hope. Sounds about right. And so we'll go ahead and end the epilogue on 4 characters here. Peace does remain in Organia. There's life, death, there's hope, laughter, there's crying that continues, but the story on the 4 Chosens ends there as our camera pans out from Organia and in dramatic fashion. A man who is telling the story, gruffed voice, and that's last I've been told of the Chosens in Organia. And these scenes were seen in a crystal bound in gold, the same material you know that Kahu created, which in this world is called Fate's Metal. There's this device in a room filled with beautiful colors and Hanasukan drapes. There's Celestian artwork and runic stones of the Elvish plains and different markings that you recognize as from Organia and different. But there's an Elvish man putting an Elvish girl with blonde hair to sleep. I really like that story, Dad. Will I ever get a chance to go home? No? Keep their lessons in your heart. Home is exactly where we all want to make it. And as she looks out into not the night sky that would be like Organia, but a blue and green and orange mosaic of a night sky with various colored planets of crystal in the world, of black and orange and blue and green. On this world, this family goes to sleep looking at the stories you have all told here in Organia, as they are now in a shunted world away from Organia, retelling the stories and keeping the culture that you all have saved in Organia alive. As eventually, Michael will create his sequel story of a crystalline world where those that get shunted away can see back into their home world, as the story is now continued and told of the 4 Chosens that were able to unite and bring all of the fate of Organia back together, and that's what they hope that one day they'll return to. And that's where our story ends, as your chapter ends and another one begins. But that's down the road for Fates Apart. But we'll go ahead and wrap up on that note. So thank you guys. It was good until now.
You did it! You did the whole game. Now you can cry.
You made it.
You guys did a really beautiful story. I just want to say thank you, all of you guys, for telling a story in real life together. Friends that we've made, hardships that we've overcome, and a community that we get to take forward and tell new stories with. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for the last episode. It was beautiful. Really, really beautiful. And I'll cherish this. Cherish all the friends along the way and be a crybaby about it all night. So,
Yeah. And congrats to Mike for finishing his first ever homebrew campaign. Big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Don't ever start your first homebrew on stream, guys. Or just dive straight into the deep end and learn as you go. But
Yeah.
a quick thank you to my wonderful players, everyone that's followed, been a part of this journey. Thank you guys so much. We will be back next week with less crying, hopefully, but for a follow-up Q&A session where we get to talk about the story and your players and what they mean and the questions. So I love you guys so much. I gotta get through the announcements, but thank you guys so much. Go check out the Discord and submit your questions for both me and the players in the Fates United channel with the submissions there. So I'm gonna go ahead. I don't normally do this. We don't normally do the everyone tag, but I'm gonna go and just do it here, just because threads aren't easy to find. So I'm just gonna tag there. That way people can find it if needed. But go ahead and post your questions there. We'll go ahead and ask those next week with that. Join us Sunday for a magical game of mystical mishaps on Marky Gaming's channel at 7 p.m. Where I get to play Dav.
Which is not ending anytime soon.
It's not ending anytime soon, so I might still cry if we get TPK'd. I mean, it's these sheepies are dangerous.
True.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to take the screenshot from our first session, like put it up to show like how far we've come and how different we look. So maybe I'll do that next week, because
That'd be fun.
Mark's hair is
There
a
you go.
journey in itself. I mean, just from what it's gone from the
It
beginning
was.
to now. I mean, I'm
Look how
impressed.
luscious right now.
That's what you've been waiting for to cut your hair, isn't it? Is Fates United to be over? Yeah.
Had to wait.
So
Comes back bald next week.
we love you guys so much. We'll go ahead and do one last raid. See who's on, if there's anybody. Gosh, there's like, we go so late, there's like not many people on. These guys look fun. What's this? Yeah, they're probably gonna end here soon because it's been a while, but that's what happens on Friday nights. So Pixel Circus, we'll go ahead and raid them as we just go ahead and send all of our love and respect. You guys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I'll let you guys know in the future kind of what will happen to the channel and streaming wise. I have some ideas, but again, right now I cannot commit to any consistency. So it's really been really fun. But I need my rest as well. But we'll figure out what happens soon. So so we'll go ahead and raid Circus. And thank you guys so much for all the love and respect and the joy, everything you guys have done. Alright guys, love you.